Welcome to the Masterpiece Effect, where we don't just chase success, we craft it. I'm Elnaj, self-leadership alchemist, Ironman finisher, and your guide on this unconventional journey to elite performance, legacy, and self-mastery. This is not your average personal development podcast. Here, we're questioning the narratives, dismantling limitations, and redefining what it means to lead yourself, your life, and your legacy. If you're ready to move beyond high achievement into intentional creation, you're in the right place. Let's begin crafting the ultimate masterpiece, you. In a time when we are still so very much conditioned to believe in one-dimensional goal setting, bringing all our focus and attention either on our fitness or our relationships or our profession, whatever the case might be, within the further idea that sacrifice in other areas are required if we want to hit those goals. It can be really challenging and almost feel unnatural to even hold the idea of holistic success. So I wasn't too surprised when I received a question of how can I align my personal growth with my professional ambitions to achieve holistic success? And maybe you've been wondering this as well. After all, there's only so many hours in every single day. So how on earth do we fit in all this growth? Let's compile that with the idea that it has to challenge us to grow us. And so, of course, then we get to expend all that energy as well, leaving us feeling absolutely exhausted at the end of the day. But what if it's all the other way around? What if by focusing on our personal growth, our professional ambition becomes aligned naturally? In fact, what if I focused on my personal growth with ease, I can attain holistic success? And these are really questions that I invite you to contemplate for yourself. I can absolutely share my experience, the conclusions that I have come to. I can even share with you the evidence from my clients. But until you sit down and ask yourself these questions, you won't own it for yourself and you won't tap into your divine wisdom for your specific answer. But I'll give you an example of this. Whenever I start working with a client, they normally come to me with one goal area that they believe needs attention. One area which they want to take to the next level. And when we start having a look at what is maybe holding them a little bit restrained in achieving exactly what it is that they want, it's really the area that they're focused on. I've said this before and I will continue saying this every single time. We are multi-dimensional beings. We are humans having a life experience which includes our bodies, our emotions, our minds, our relationship with other people, our relationship with self, our art, our craft, our curiosity, how we choose to express ourselves. All of these elements are truly linked together. We are brought up and conditioned to have an external focus of success. And even though high achievers create astounding outcomes for themselves, there is a theme in that there is a lack of fulfillment in this continuous chase for the external validation. It is when we start coming home when we start prioritizing our relationship with ourselves, crafting our personal identity of choice, that the external world takes shape naturally based on this new identity, based on our vision, based on our dreams, our imagination of what is possible for us next. That everything starts coming into place, and more importantly, there is a sense of ease to it all. Now, while we are speaking of ease, I want to make a very clear distinction for you today with regards to ease and easy. These two words are so often used to mean the same thing, and then people get frustrated and they feel like they can't have ease in their lives because nothing feels easy. What I've come to understand is that ease is when we live and we take action in faith. And I'm not talking about blind faith. I'm talking about absolute knowing that success is the ultimate outcome. Maybe not today, maybe not from this specific action, but all actions lead to ultimate success. And so there's a sense of ease. There is a leaning back and a leaning in with curiosity. There is a harmonization of masculine and feminine where we take the actions with full expectation of outcome and we allow ourselves to receive. Knowing our absolute worth, and we've got nothing to prove here. Easy, on the other hand, is action taken with muscle memory from practice. We practice an action until it feels easy. But there is always a time of dis-ease when new action is taken because the muscle memory hasn't been formed. And we tend to get so impatient with ourselves, thinking we should just nail everything immediately, instead of allowing ourselves to actually enjoy the process of practice to gain the muscle memory. I remember when I first started cycling and I was working with a coach, she said to me that, you know what, Al, you're getting astonishing results, but you have to learn to be patient with yourself because you are competing against people with 10 years, 15 years, 20 years of muscle memory in this sport. And it will take you a minimum of 3 years. 3 years of not giving up to even start forming proper avenues of memory in your muscle, for them to start understanding how to work properly in the sport. And when I heard this, I could finally just lean back a little bit and go, oh my God, I'm doing really well for where I am in this journey. And the same happens with anything. When you first start writing, you don't have the muscle memory yet. So your writing is a little bit clumsy in the beginning. You start speaking for the first time, not as flowing in the beginning because you have to practice it. So it doesn't feel easy. But if you are taking that action in faith, you have a sense of ease about it. This is how I invite people to come into personal growth with a sense of ease. Yes, there's many things I ask my clients that doesn't feel easy in the beginning. But as long as they hold the faith, the absolute knowing of ultimate success, growth feels ease and flow and natural. Doesn't have to feel hard and struggle. So when we start bringing in this feeling of ease from personal growth and we translate it to all the other areas of our lives, even our professional ambitions have an energy of ease about them. So rather than operating in fear, setting goals because we think we have to prove ourselves, setting goals because we think we have to pay the rent, setting goals because whatever the case is, from fear, which takes enormous amounts of energy and self-sacrifice. When we start reclaiming ourselves, empowering ourselves, operating from love, those goals, they become fun. They become a game, which is what goals were always meant to be. It's just a game. It's like casting a spell in magic. It helps you to just simply focus your attention on the positive outcome of what it is that you desire. So next time that you're setting a goal, think of it as casting a spell. Or next time that you're casting a spell, see it as setting a goal. Take the unease out of it and allow yourself to start playing way more in your personal life, in your professional life, in your relationships. When we start aligning our personal growth with everything in our lives, that is when holistic success is achieved. Because this is no longer about outcomes, but about who we choose to be personally. It is the identity piece, once again, that comes into play. And only you get to decide your identity. Now, I'm going to start a really fun, new, free masterclass series in April. And the very first one is called Symphony. Now, interestingly enough, the full moon in April is the pink moon, which is all about love and relationships. And part of this is the identity piece. So if that's something that you would like to come and play with, have a look on my website, alnash.com, and find the link to Symphony. At the end of the day, it is all about personal growth. And when we grow in our person intentionally, with a sense of ease, because ultimate success is guaranteed, that is holistic success. Because you are creating the masterpiece of you and therefore your life. So where can you start bringing more intentionality to your person, to your identity? And can you then follow the threads of every other area in your life and how that gets influenced and impacted by who you choose to be? That's it for today's episode of The Masterpiece Effect. But your transformation doesn't stop here. If something resonated, challenged you, or sparked a new insight, I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts. Connect with me at alnash.com. And if you found value in this conversation, subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because life's too short for mediocrity. Let's create a masterpiece. See you next time.